Hey everyone, how are you all doing? In the office, so I'm a little bit warmer than I normally am at this time of year. I recently did a video talking about some accessories that you should and shouldn't buy for the Fujifilm X100 VI. It's done very well, and whilst I'm really happy with it, I think I wanted to do a bit of a broader video. It's quite a niche video, that one, obviously. One, given the fact that I've been doing photography for 4 or 5 years now, so there are certain pieces of equipment that are useful to me that probably wouldn't be for beginners. And obviously you need to own preferably a Fujifilm X100 VI or something similar to get all the benefits from that video. So I want to do a video talking about what beginners need, but I want to do a bit of a different angle on it. Obviously I want this to be kind of a minimal setup, and also I'm going to talk a bit of broader terms in terms of what you need. So it's not just the actual photography gear. I feel too many beginner guides, tips, whatever you want to call them, focus too much on the gear themselves and not a lot on other things that you actually need so that you go out and you stay out and you shoot longer. I think as a beginner, a huge mistake that people make is they only go and shoot for a couple of hours at a time at a location. They won't spend 5-8 hours. So hopefully the aim of this video is to help you beginners, or maybe you're intermediate or whatever it might be, stay out longer, because ultimately that will help you get more and better photos whilst keeping setups minimal. So when I'm exploring, especially when I'm not in a city, I think having a good app like Komoot is one that springs to mind that I use a lot, is essential when you're going out to take photos. The reason why I use an app like Komoot is it allows me to find new locations. Normally it'll sort of be user generated, so other people have picked these routes, walked them, they'll even taken photos as you're going, as they've gone around. So you can get an idea of what the route looks like. And I think it's really essential if you're a photographer, because oftentimes it can be quite hard to find new locations to shoot, but having an app like Komoot makes that really easy. I've been using the app for years, and you can obviously save your routes offline. Then obviously you don't have to worry about, you know, signal and things like that. Obviously if you're filming in the Peak District or something like that, signal can be an issue. So having an app like Komoot makes that really accessible. Obviously then you can load the route onto your phone or your watch, again making the process easy. So if you've got it on your watch, you don't have to be getting out your phone every minute to see if you're going left and if you're going right, or up or down, and that makes the process a lot easier. So it's one less thing to not worry about when you go out for that 5, 10, 15k walk, and it makes it so you can focus a lot more on the process of taking photos, which obviously is the most important thing. It's an app I hugely recommend, obviously not sponsored at all, but it would be the one that I would go to. There are a few other free alternatives that you can use, but I'd say investing in Komoot is worthwhile if you want to get into taking photos, especially more in the outdoors. I mean, all photos that you should be taking should be outdoors, unless you're doing portraits indoors, but you're probably not watching this video. Oh, these are cleaner. These are cleaner than my boots. That's why I brought them inside. But I want to talk about gear and not photography gear. So it goes without saying, but having a good pair of shoes is invaluable when you're going out shooting, whether that be street photography, any photography you do, you need proper shoes on your feet. And it's certainly something that I've invested in a lot more over the years, especially going to film and take photos in the Peak District and doing a lot more hiking, I suppose. So that's another thing I would recommend to beginners, is a good pair of shoes. So I got these shoes. I got them from TK Maxx, actually. I do spend way too much on Maxx. If you live in the UK, I don't know if they've got something like that everywhere else, but in the UK we have a discount store basically where you can buy brands. So I've had these shoes for about a year now. I wear them more in the summertime. As you can see, they're quite breathable. So I wear them more in the summertime, but honestly, it makes you shoot more and for longer when you have the appropriate shoes on. I've had it sometimes where I haven't bothered to wear the right shoes, and I've cut the walk that I've done short because I've just been really uncomfortable. So I would certainly recommend a good pair of shoes. I've got a pair of winter boots that I wear in this sort of climate and in this time of year, and they have been through everything and have kept my feet dry for years. And obviously that means it's kept me shooting for longer and taking more photos. So if you haven't got a pair of boots, invest in some. Don't buy any other camera gear, just invest in a good pair of shoes, and I promise it'll be so worth it. You will take so many more photos when your feet aren't full of aches and boils and diseases. Right, next one is maybe the most important piece of equipment you can buy, especially if you are a beginner, and that is a camera bag. I could probably make a whole video talking about camera bags on their own. If anyone wants to bother seeing that without falling asleep, you are welcome to. I'm definitely not obsessed. So we have bag number one here, which has a sling inside. We have another bag here. Yep, we have another bag here with another camera bag here, and that's not it. I've got another one. Hang on, I've got another one somewhere. And I have another bag here. I have even more bags than this. It's definitely a disease, we will call it. To go into why you want one of these, it holds all your camera gear, makes it nice and easy, and obviously if you've got the appropriate bag to take with you on trips or adventures, it's just a different version of adventures, trips. If you're going out with your camera, as long as you've got a bag, you're more likely to take your camera out more with you, if that makes sense, which means you will shoot more. I really hope this is all making sense. But you want to make your life minimal. So that's why I've gone through all these types of bags, trying to find the best one. I have yet to find the perfect camera bag, but I have got a few different categories of bags that I choose depending on when I go out and what I'm shooting. If that makes sense. For lighter days out, or when I'm not feeling like I want to carry as much gear, I will take a sling with me. I've got two here. This one is a 1 litre sling, and this one is a 2 litre sling. This one is from Clever Supply Co, and this one is from Wandered. I've spoken about them before, both on the channel. But when I want to go out for a lighter day, these types of bags fit the Fujifilm X100VI amazingly well. They really do suit them. You can't put a lot else in them, so you might be able to put your keys, your iPod, things like that, but you can't take obviously loads of gear, and obviously you can't put jackets and other pieces of clothing inside them either, so that is a consideration to make. But when I'm wanting things to be really minimal and really light, a sling is definitely the way to go. However, for bigger outings or maybe a day out in the city, I will choose a bigger bag. So this is my Brevity jumper. I've owned jumper. Yeah, it is called a jumper. I've owned this bag for years, and it's absolutely fantastic. Obviously, this is not a review, but as you can see, you open up the bag and you have mountains of storage there to store all necessary gear that you might need, and then obviously you can open up the top and you've got a cavern to put all your coats and things in. It's got tripod mounts, water bottle, more tripod accessories. You can fit a laptop in here, everything. So sometimes when I'm working with clients and I need to take videography gear with me, I sometimes will use this bag if I think I can get away with it. But I've taken this thing on holiday, I've taken it on hikes, I've taken it on city breaks, all sorts. So it's a very versatile bag, and if I had to choose between all the three we're going to talk about right now, I would certainly probably choose this bag as your first one. Remember, we're trying to keep minimal, so less stuff, more minimal, which I'm not really proving the point of here by having all these bags, but you don't do what I do. Next bag, a bit of a newer addition and a newer take on carrying a rucksack with you, but it is this Please mind the fact it's dirty. It is a running bag. So I do a lot of photography in the Peak District. If you follow me on Instagram, things like that, you'll see a lot of photos are tagged in the Peak District. And I wanted a comfier alternative to the Brevity bag that I've got. So someone recommended trying a running bag. It just hugs your body a lot better. It's hard to show because it's black. But it hugs your body a lot better. Obviously you can put a water bladder in it, so it's better for longer hikes and it's more waterproof and more durable for those types of trips. Obviously it's not a camera bag, so there's no dedicated pockets for anything. However, you can buy pouches and various other accessories, or actually I'll demonstrate in a second. If you put the bag on, it's got front pockets. They're meant for water bottles, but you can actually put your Fujifilm X100V or camera of a similar size in there, and it's perfect for when you're not actually shooting and you don't want it around your neck. You can actually just put it in there and it's a perfect place for it. Obviously it was never intended for that, but it works immensely well. And a camera bag that I don't recommend. So I think a lot of people, when they're beginning out, they think they need to take all their gear with them. I used to do this. I used to take a drone, two cameras, all my lenses, all my SD cards. I take all my equipment with me, tripods, everything. So that's why I bought this bag, this ginormous beast of a bag. As you can see, you can hold, if that'll open, you can hold mountains of gear. I could put all my camera gear in here, plus coats, jackets, everything. And whilst that's nice to have all that gear, it's not very minimal, and it's not very, it didn't actually make me take a lot of photos, because I thought every time I want to take a photo, I'm going to get everything out of the bag, decide what I'm going to take the photo with, and the moment's gone. So don't buy a giant camera bag. I mean, I use this one on a near-day basis for filming purposes with clients. Great for that, but don't buy it if you're just buying a Fujifilm or something like that. You don't need it. Honestly, go for something like the Brevity. I think this is like a 15, 20 litre bag with minimal camera storage, and honestly, that will sort you. I've kind of rambled on. This has become a video in its own right. So we're going to move on to the next thing. And that next thing is storage. So we have SSD and we have a hard drive, obviously, as well as our SD cards. Little white one there. This might seem like a bit of an obvious one. You need storage, you need to put your photos somewhere, but I think it's quite often overlooked. I've seen a lot of beginner photographers, friends of mine, where they'll just have all their photos stored on their computer forevermore. Fantastic until you lose your computer, of course. So the way I like to work, obviously, you need an SD card to put into the camera, otherwise you won't be taking any photos. I recommend 128 gigs, just they're relatively cheap. It means you won't have to format your card every time you go and shoot out. And if you decide to get into videos, you can record 4K video for a couple of hours with a 128 SD card. So just get a 128, totally worth it. Then when it comes to SSDs, they're relatively cheap now. They've really come down in price. I'd get a 2 terabyte one if I could, and this is where I will edit all my photos and videos off this thing. So nothing gets edited off my computer's SSD. It's all on here. And it's a really nice way to work. And again, I can carry this with me everywhere. And I know that all my photos and things are stored on here. So get a 2 terabyte one. Again, it's how I do things, and it's worked well for the last 4 or 5 years. So do that. Then to back up everything again, which you should be doing just in case the SSD corrupts or you lose it, or for whatever reason, how you like to work. So basically the way I work is 2024 files on here. Anything older than 2024 is on here, because relatively I won't need to access those all the time. Obviously hard drives are slower, generally speaking, unless maybe you have like a NAS system or something like that, but we won't get into that. This is minimal. I would like a NAS system though, so please buy me one. get a hard drive, get a 3 to 6 terabyte hard drive and store and back up all your files on this. You won't regret it. It's a necessity really if you're a photographer. I haven't deleted a file in ever. I've stored every photo I've ever had, which people might think is crazy, but I don't think it's crazy. I don't want to delete anything. So all my footage is stored on here. Now you could go a step further. You could upload your photos onto like a Google Drive or something like that, which could obviously get quite expensive, but I would recommend, and it's something that I'm looking at sort of cloud storage wise, what to do next, just to back up my folders and things like that. But yes, basically storage, yes, do focus on that. Don't worry about buying a new lens, buy some storage instead. This is a super quick tip, but get a power bank. Really simply, do not buy batteries for your camera. They are, people are gonna hate me for saying this, they're a waste of money and a waste of time. You've got to, if I bought more batteries for my Fujifilm, I've then got to buy a charger to charge the batteries for the Fujifilm, and then I've probably got to buy one of these anyway. I've had this one from Anker. It's actually a MagSafe one, so I can attach it to my MagSafe iPhone. But obviously you can just plug it in with the USB-C and it will charge everything I need to. This is 5,000 milliamps. Again, perfect size to charge your Fujifilm on the go if you need to. And yeah, really simply, just no questions about it, no debates, just get a power bank. Don't get batteries for your camera, because again, if you switch camera brands in the future, or you go for an X-T5 in the future or things like that, you're not stuck with all these little batteries. You've got the power bank and it will do the job. So I was going to end the video here, but I do have one final thing to talk about, and that is this little pouch that I got when I bought my Brevity jumper. I think it actually maybe came with it free. It's a little camera kit. Every sort of camera brand does these little sort of pouches that you can get. But I actually think it's probably the one singular thing I've taken with me literally everywhere I've gone. But it also depends what you put in it. So in this little pouch that I've got, I won't open it out because everything will fall out, but you can see it opens up. Basically, I've got rows where I can put more SD cards. I keep my SSD in here because it's obviously SSDs are small and they fit inside. I keep a Lightning to SD card reader because it's nice whether I just want to review my files. Obviously, I know Fujifilm have an app and things like that, and whilst it's great, I just find it's quicker and easier just to plug everything in and use it like that. What else do I have in here? Oh yeah, I had this from when I used to use Moment lenses for a phone. I think they still do them, but basically it's just a little lens cleaner, handy to have if you get dust and things like that. I have a little sort of, it's meant to go on a keychain this, but it's just a little USB to USB-C, and you can do like Lightning and things like that. I've got a microfiber cloth, I've got an Allen key, I've got a USB-C to SD card reader. I have a MacBook Air, so it doesn't have an SD card reader. So this, again, is probably one of the singular things that I use the most. So remember to pick one of these up if you haven't already. And it stores all very nicely in this pouch, and I take it with me everywhere. If I'm taking a sling, obviously I won't take this, but I'll take things out of this and obviously put in the sling, and any of my other bags, I'll just chuck this in. Probably should have started with this actually. This is probably what you really need the most, everything in here. But yeah, that wraps up the video. I hope that has been helpful. Obviously, if you are new and you've got any questions about any of this equipment, or you've got any other equipment that you've been thinking about buying and you haven't bought yet, do ask, and I probably will have an opinion on whether you should actually get it or not. And yeah, if anyone else has got anything that they think is worth getting, if you're a beginner, or any photographer should be getting, please do let everyone know in the comments below. And as always, have a fab week, have a fab weekend, whatever you're up to, and see everyone in the next video.